that have multiple receivers on the outside, and they can generate pass rush now. So when you look at a balanced team, a team that has everything that elevated and everything that we're doing in the offseason, it's got to be the Ravens coming out of that division.
One of the interesting notes out of Baltimore this spring, they want to get Jackson under center a lot more, out of that pistol formation a little bit more whenever they can. You know, give the defenses more to think about, like Willie talked about. Open up that offense a little bit more. Speaking of opening up offenses, the Tennessee Titans hoping that they will do that with Julio Jones via that trade. Mike Giardi, you spend a lot of time covering the Titans. Tell me your thoughts on what the Jones addition does as far as their ability to compete with Kansas City and the rest of the AFC.
Well, Ryan Tannehill redid his contract, right, to bring on Julio Jones, and that makes all the sense in the world if you're Ryan Tannehill, because you had A.J. Brown, and then what else did you have? You lost Corey Davis. You lost Jonnu Smith. They were talking about Nick Westbrook-Ikhine as potentially the starter opposite Brown. Do you know who he is? I know Rhett Lewis knows who he is because he's an IU guy, but that's the point here. They just upgraded dramatically, and now on Tuesdays when opposing teams have to game plan for them for the coming week, they have to game plan not just for Brown, but for Julio Jones. That makes that offense so much more explosive. Pick your poison with them. They are a legit offensive football team.
When you talk about Julio Jones, you have to talk about his off-ball metric, meaning with the space he creates for everyone else. And that means Derrick Henry, which is the run game situation, which is awesome for them because then they can control the clock. The thing that's interesting and I like about the Titans is their division is not top to bottom really strong. So it kind of comes down to them or the Colts for who wins. And remember, in this season, with a longer season, you're going to want to have that advantage of at least a home field advantage for one playoff game. So that could come down to being a really big deal, staying home, getting a little more comfortable, maybe getting a little bit more rest come the end of the season.
And Cynthia, I think you said something really interesting. Now, the play action, okay, is usually set up by the running game. Now that you have those two weapons with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones on the outside, you can attack pass first, which can open up the running game. So now you got to respect the guys on the outside. And I know they lost Corey Davis, but he's not Julio Jones. And Jonnu Smith may hurt a little bit with the short to intermediate, but they'll figure those things out. This team now, offensively, and listen to what I'm saying, offensively is one of the most dominant teams in the league.
I love that you said offensively, because defensively, Willie, They were a train wreck last year. I got to tell you, they turned over 3/4 of their secondary. They added Bud Dupree because their pass rush was anemic, Denitro Autry as well. And this is a situation, I think Shane Bowen, who's now the DC this year in title, as he was last year, but without the title, and Mike Vrabel, there's some pressure on them because the offense should be there, right? They should be able to be a team that is one of the most feared in football. But can the defense hold their own? They didn't enough last year, and it's why they kind of flatlined.
All right, before we get out of here, because I know there's a lot of folks up there in Massachusetts and the surrounding areas saying, what are we doing? We're like 6-7 minutes in, and nobody's mentioned the Patriots here. We're getting there, okay? And I'm not going to leave when I have Mr. Patriot here, Willie McGinest, and Giardi. You spend a lot of time around the Patriots. I can't leave without getting both of your takes about the Patriots reloading this offseason. I mean, the first couple days of free agency were a frenzy. We call it free agency frenzy at NFL Network. It was a frenzy for the Patriots. Can the light switch be flipped? And who starts at quarterback will certainly be a big part of that, Willie. I understand that. But can the light switch be flipped and this team comes back into being a contender for the Chiefs and everybody else to worry about?
Mike G, all the lights are on in the house right now. When you see they spent the most money in the offseason, and they're not going to sit around and listen to how dominant the Bills were, and now the Bills run the AFC East and all those different things. So I would say the caliber of players they brought in and what they did in the draft shows that they are serious about being back on track and getting back in the playoffs and being a contender, not only for the playoffs, but for winning championships, because that's where the bar is in New England.
That is where the bar is, but then can they get the quarterback play that can help them get there? And look, Cam Newton wasn't good enough last year, and that is clear. And Mac Jones, in investing a first-round pick, you're saying essentially, yeah, that we want this guy to be our quarterback of the future, but can the quarterback of the future become the quarterback of the present? Newton dealing with a hand injury already here in OTAs, and Mac Jones, according to all people, has really absorbed the playbook very well, so it'll be interesting to watch when we get to training camp.
All right, look, we don't root, as reporters and analysts, we don't root for anybody. We don't. We're more objective, but it is more fun when the Patriots are good, and then you've got that team that everybody else is trying to dethrone. So let's see if New England can get themselves back into the conversation with the Chiefs for the favorites in the AFC. Thank you, all three of you. This was a fun conversation.
You know the old saying, careful what you wish for because you just may get it? And no one's hearing it more than Mike Vrabel, who has a seasoned commitment to produce exclusive content on Twitter Spaces, Twitter's new live audio feature. Twitter will also continue to be a home for the game's biggest moments from season kickoff to the Super Bowl.
Sorry! Tannehill throws the fade, left side, ball up and caught. Is it inbounds? Yes! Touchdown, Titans! Yeah! It'll be 3rd down and goal at the 4. Derrick Henry, jump pass in the end zone. Touchdown, Titans! Boom! That's the way to go. Get on the ball! Get on the ball! Tannehill running the option, dives in! Touchdown, Titans! Awesome!
And we welcome in now the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel, from the American Century Championships. Thanks for joining us, Coach. If you were wearing a mic out there on the golf course today, would we be able to run it without editing it?
No, it would be a lot more of those beep, 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 beep. But we'll be having fun.
Well, you are playing with 2 other head coaches today, Sean McDermott from the Bills, obviously, and Chicago's Matt Nagy. I am curious, who has the worst handicap in the group?
I don't know. We're going to find out here in about 45 minutes, I think. So we'll. I don't think handicaps mean much with our group. I think we're going to see how much fun we can have. But we're going to have a great time. I've played with Matt before. I haven't played with Sean. I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, when you're playing with other NFL head coaches, are you going to be able to turn off head coach brain while golfing, or is that thing constantly relating everything back to football?
No, I think that there won't be much football discussed, today. When we do get together, I'm sure at dinner and, sometimes after the course we'll talk about it, but I don't think there'll be much football talked today.
I could watch these tournaments with you guys all day long. Particularly enjoyed the match. And I know you're good friends with old Tom Brady. Can you give us any insight into a guy that is seemingly elite at everything, why he struggles on the golf course so much? I wanted to think that after his last match outing, he had a coach leading up to that.
Yeah, there was a lot of overcoaching going on. And I know as far as somebody that's not a professional golfer, just get up there and swing it. I've played with Tom, and, Aaron played amazing. I'm sure he'll play well here, but, Tom hasn't done too well in those made-for-television golf matches lately.
He's got some pros to lean on as well, and, it's not easy. He's good at other things, though. We can say that. Tom is successful in other capacities.
Well, I mean, Phil's 50 years old. Got to take care of Phil's back. He tried to carry Tom Brady for 18 holes.
Yeah.
Law of the universe, guys. Tom Brady can't have it all, right? Yeah. We've got to have him be, average at something. And when I say average, he still did better than I fare out in the golf course.
Yeah, and better than most people as we look over to some football, Coach.
Can't have everything, right?
You guys got a little piece of everything, and getting a guy who's also going to join Tom in Canton one day in Julio Jones. 2 questions. What does he add to your team, and how do you evaluate A.J. Brown as a recruiter?
Well, A.J. has, what's really been cool to see is not only his maturity on the football field and his development, it's his maturity and comfort level in our locker room and as a part of our organization.